Oy. How's it going, y'all? Hey, SLJ. Oh, man. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was chaotic. I had two crazy dogs roaming around the house and my aunt and uncle. I feel so bad for my aunt and uncle because they drove in from BC, but they have to get through. They usually pass through Jasper, which if you guys if you guys see my last live stream, I think my last live stream, or maybe the one before that, Jasper is a national park here, and most of it, or not most of it, but a lot of it got burned down. So they currently can't go through there. So their 7-hour drive became an 11-hour drive just because they had to go further north instead of, just straight through. So they are just getting home. And they left at 9 a.m. this morning, and it's 8:30 p.m. at night here. But yeah, I hope all is well. Lots to talk about. We're recapping last week, and we'll dabble in today just because, how could we not? Oh, man. But yeah, so, first of all, welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GA chapter show. So I am flustered, y'all. I worked today as well. It was crazy busy at work. So I'm, still getting my bearings a little bit. But yeah, what a crazy week last week was for GH. Before we get into the biggest, most obvious thing, we need to talk about Carly for a second. As you guys know, she was arrested for the RICO charges that Jagger was holding against Jason, so he would do the FBI's bidding. Hey, Sandy. Sandy's on the ledge. Oh my, yep. But anyway, long story short, the charges against Carly were dismissed because the evidence vanished into thin air. So Carly walks, and I think it's safe to say the person behind it is most likely Jack/John Brennan, who had a track down in Washington at the WSB's headquarters. Turns out the WSB were just waiting in wake once Pikeman fell apart to make it look like they had zero involvement with Pikeman. So they got him out. They, what do you call it? They got him out and made him, I think, the head of the WSB again, I'm assuming. Hey, Angel. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Sabrina. You got thoughts. You better tell him. But yeah, so the WSB got got Jack Brennan out of there, and I'm pretty sure he got Carly out. Now, this is just speculation, but it feels obvious to me what else could have happened. We know it wasn't Spinelli. But yeah, so also I imagine Valentina and his daughter are just on a vacation now at this point, since they probably don't want to mention him either. Good government manipulation with Brennan and Pikeman. It could happen. But yeah, obviously the biggest thing that happened this week was Kristina falling out of a window, which takes what felt like a predictable story originally that could go one of two ways back then, into a direction I didn't really see coming, honestly. Truth be told. So before we get into obviously what happened at the end of last week and what happened today, let's just kind of rewind things back a bit. In the previous week, Molly and Kristina were at odds. Molly and TJ were not fans of how Kristina addressed her pregnancy on Perez Hilton's talk show. So much so that Molly stormed into Kristina's apartment and demanded that she signed away her parental rights to the child, which Kristina had then refused. After that, Alexis had advised Molly to not force the issue and basically keep the peace. In other words, lie and pretend that she jumped the gun, make Kristina feel like everything is okay, and just wait things out until the baby is born. Molly went to, basically after that, Molly went to Kristina's to apologize And they buried the war for now, but then a gentleman shows up to Kristina's apartment and hands her, or basically says, "You've been served." And it's a subpoena to testify on Ava's behalf in court. Obviously, Ava's goal was to have her testify about Sonny attacking Dex at Brooklyn and Chase's wedding, to make him look unfit. And Ava's also got the fact that Sonny's off his meds as a wild card to the situation. Kristina is obviously in a panic about it and lets her dad know. And then her next stop is Ava's room at the Metro Court. They exchange some heated words, obviously, and Kristina ends up threatening to get on the stand and let the court know why she's unfit to, with just facts, basically. Just like giving Morgan placebos in placement of his bipolar pills, a step that she's done once again. And also the fact that she killed Connie Falconeri. And then Ava grabs Kristina's arm. Kristina pulls back, loses her balance, trips on some suitcases that Agent Cates left there, and falls out the window into the pool of the Metro Court. The rooftop pool, which is not actually the rooftop. But I digress. First of all, that window is flimsy. I thought, did Carly cut corners in the Metro Court? And, it's just that, loose that she just fell out that quick. Oh, man. And honestly, it the way she fell, it just looked like she, got caught in an explosion and just, flew back. It was crazy. But second of all, my favorite thing about this is that GH was clearly so impressed with the scene that we had to watch it 6 more times in the next episode. They just kept showing it over and over and over again. No, it's better when Nina ran the Metro Court. Unless when Nina, was running the Metro Court, she, cut the budget in certain parts. And maybe that's what happened. Kristina had no business going to see Ava. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, not even Kristina could have predicted tripping over a suitcase and falling out the window. But yeah, it was Agent Cates' suitcases because the night before he stayed the night, they had sex. Apparently, it happened off screen anyway. Also, Trina knew that Agent Cates and Ava slept with each other because she was there the next morning when he showed up half naked from her shower or whatever. But yeah, so the one thing I didn't like with that scene, listen, the scene of Kristina flying out the window, it looked pretty cool. They made it look like a pretty big set, and that was all great. But some of the reaction shots of Kristina falling were so cringe. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why, but Gio's reaction looked like satire. He looked so sarcastically dramatic. It felt like he wasn't being serious. Joss and Trina's reactions were a little bit as well. But kudos to Maura West because her reaction was perfect. Just the look on her face, she didn't say it, but you could tell that she was in her mind shit. How did that even happen? It just, I don't know. It was perfect. Cause if that ain't karma, how is she gonna fall out a window like that? What are the odds that you just obviously she didn't, but she could have killed Kristina. And I mean, not that it was okay. To be fair, Ava did not throw herself, throw Kristina out that window. Okay, she obviously didn't mean for that to happen. However, it's gonna look really bad, really bad. Also, shout out to nobody being in the pool at the time. Good timing, Kristina, for following that. Then. But yeah, so anyway, Oh, by the way, Trina, she noticed Ava looking out the window before she closed the curtains, because Ava closed the curtains in shock, obviously. But Ava didn't notice Trina noticing her, and the next like 10 minutes she spends going into like a full-on panic mode and making it look like a less realistic accident than what actually transpired. She replaced Kate's suitcase with a couple of high heels. And when Dante got there, he obviously didn't buy it. Not the brightest move. She's usually smarter than this. Ava's usually smarter. Like, that was wild to me. Even Dante was like, you really think that she fell out of the window in full force from tripping on a high heel? Girl. And Dante arrested her. And he also pointed to the curtains, by the way. And at this point, I think Dante already knew that Trina, noticed that she, the curtains were clearly untouched. And then on top of that, we also have the fact that Brick, or whoever Brick hired, has pictures of what went down at the Metro Court because, Sonny was saying to spy on Ava and Kate's. And the only thing the camera doesn't pick up on is that Kristina tripped. So the photos that will no doubt come out at some point definitely make it look like Ava pushed her. Because there's going to be a shot of her like grabbing her arm and then Kristina falling out the window. So it's going to look pretty bad. Sonny, like if Sonny is of any sound of mind at all, he might kill Ava. I feel like whether he was off his bipolar meds or not, it looks really bad for Ava, and he's probably gonna kill her. But we'll see. I don't want Maura West off the show, but like, damn, that's like, first of all, it's karma for switching his pills in the first place, but also like, it's just like, how much worse can they make it for Ava? Like, damn. She played with fire and she got the heat. Man. Sandy, you said, I hope they don't mess with the friendship between Ava and Trina. I love their relationship. Well, Trina's obviously at this point second guessing who Ava is as a person. And she has every right to question it now because she's seeing for herself, how diabolical Ava can get. That said, hey, Allison. That said, Ava had grown, you know what I mean? And they just like put her back in the place that she was. Angel, you said it seemed like they are putting Ava in a corner again. Exactly. Like, this is hard to get out of. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe the fact that she truly didn't, push Kristina out that window might help her situation a little bit. But she still switched his meds. Like, she still switched Sonny's meds. And that's something that she's going to get caught for at some point. Yeah, Ava was stupid with that setup. Yeah, it was so dumb. Ugh. Anyway, though, Jocelyn and Gio work together to get Kristina out of the pool safely. And Joss rides with Kristina in the ambulance. Of course, Kristina wakes up long enough to be like, is my baby okay? And when they get to GH, Alexis and TJ happen to be there because they had been arguing about whose side Alexis is going to take once the baby is born. And Alexis is trying her damnedest to be like, you can't make me choose which child to side with. And he was all, it's the same, not choosing is the same as choosing Kristina. The fight was going nowhere. But obviously it was all moot when Kristina rolled in. Even more so now that Kristina has lost the baby. So yeah. Like, I did not see that coming, truthfully, because they already had Molly lose a baby once, and now she's lost a second one right after that. But like, in all fairness, this is honestly probably the best thing that could have happened for Kristina and Molly, because damn well it would have been vile. It would have been vile. Angel, you said at least we are spared a custody battle between TJ and Kristina. Yeah, and like that's honestly where I thought it was going. It made sense. Like, you know, they have this whole thing about Molly just having to chill and and just sit back and wait for the baby to be born and then go from there. And we obviously know that Rick Hurst is coming back, so I figured that he would be her lawyer in a custody. But now I'm guessing because Molly made a stance to be like, Sonny, you're the reason why my baby is dead today. Also, kudos to the actress. Both her and Kate Manzi did a great job. I forget the actress that plays Molly's name, and I'm so sorry. But she did a great job. She was actually channeling Haley. I saw a little bit of Haley's Molly in the current Molly today, which was surprising to me. Because they haven't been too much alike, but just the emotion that she gave was given Haley. Kristina and TJ are going to be over, in my opinion. Do you mean Molly and TJ? Angel, you said TJ and Molly just need to adopt. This was stupid. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably for the best. Obviously, I don't think Kristina's going to be able to carry another baby after this. Or she's going to have a hard time to get pregnant, given what happened. You have a theory that the baby is still alive? I don't know. I don't see the baby being alive. To be honest, when I watched the scenes today, I thought Kristina was hallucinating that the baby was lost, and when I realized it wasn't, I was like, oh shoot. But I don't see there being some conspiracy. Like, to what end? You know what I mean? Like, who did it and why? Short of us seeing another baby out of the blue, out of nowhere, I don't see that being the case. I think Molly and TJ will break up since TJ hates Kristina. Well, Molly hasn't told TJ the reason why Kristina was in that room. I mean, obviously she's kind of blurted out that it's Sonny's fault. Or wait, does TJ know? Because was TJ there when Molly mentioned the Ava and the subpoena? I don't know. I think he feels bad for hating Kristina and blaming her. It's like I don't think it's Kristina's fault that she ended up, falling out a window. You know what I mean? Like, should she have gone to Ava's? No, but like, in the grand schemes, like, this was a freak accident. You know what I mean? Like, she was there to argue with the baby. Had she not tripped over a suitcase, it would have been fine. She has every right to, like, confront Ava, even though she's, heavily pregnant. Like, calling someone out for their BS is not gonna, like, make or break the baby being born or not. Angel, you said, I don't like that people are calling TJ a verbal abuser on Twitter. He had every right to call out Kristina. Kristina has been on stupid, not wanting to give up her rights so Molly can adopt the baby. TJ was there when Molly yelled at Sonny's. Okay. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think once TJ cools down, like, he does clearly have sympathy for Kristina, for sure. Because, like, who could have predicted this would have happened? And it's, like, I don't know. It's one of those, it's a complicated situation. I don't think TJ, obviously TJ always had worries that Kristina couldn't be trusted, but like, whether or not she would have given that baby to them without a fuss, we will never know now. Like, yeah, it seemed that way at first, but I think if Molly, like, if in a situation where Kristina didn't fall out a window, I think if Molly was patient and just simply proved that her and TJ were in a strong relationship, I think that Kristina probably would have given it up and, like, just been fine, like, loving the baby as the aunt, All she needed was some reassurance that Molly and TJ were on good grounds, and had that been fine, I think she would have given that baby back. Angel, you said Kristina should have stayed away from Ava. Sonny said she wouldn't have to testify. I would have chose the baby over confronting Ava. You know, I forgot about that part, Angel. I'm curious. I wonder why Sonny thought that Kristina wouldn't have to testify. Is it because of the pictures? Like, was he just planning on blackmailing Ava? Like, I don't. What was the plan? That's what I want to know. Like, Sonny seemed so sure, and yes, Sonny is not in the right state of mind, but like, he clearly had some kind of plan to make sure that Kristina wouldn't have to testify. We'll see. Just, it's interesting. Kristina was getting ready to file those custody papers. Yeah, but we don't know, like, after the conversation she had with Molly, when she realized, you know, Molly jumped the gun, and Kristina was impulsively kind of reacting to that. I think that I don't think that she would have filed, truthfully. The stress of arguing is enough to have something happen, like early labor. Yeah, but early labor, like, the baby's like 3 weeks away. It's not. Wouldn't have been that much of a stretch. Kristina didn't think she did, and just that's her problem. Yeah, but like, who would have predicted like her like falling out a window? You know what I mean? Like, Kristina's confronted other people in the last like few weeks. She confronted Natalia after that recording came out. So like, she's capable and like being fine and taking care of herself. But like no one's gonna predict that she's gonna fly out of Ava's window. Like, I think, like, had it not happened, I don't think anyone would have been like, you know, if you go in there, you're probably gonna die, Kristina. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It was crazy and stupid, but truly like a freak accident. But yeah, Sabrina, you're right. The writing of the storyline was a dumpster fire from the beginning. I think it was a real rewrite. Yeah, like, so I guess one question is, like, obviously this story started pre-Elizabeth and Patrick. But also, we're like about to head into the post-Patrick era. I wonder if Elizabeth Corte was like, you know, let's just cut the story. You know, we've suffered through it for 8 months, or I think there was a bit of a time jump or something. Like, Kristina got heavily pregnant really fast at some point. You don't get how the window was weak, Allison. I don't either. That was crazy. You saw what an early C-section did. They did edit it like Kristina was having a nightmare. Yeah, it's true. Remember when she was going to beat up Connie with the bat? Oh my god, that Kristina was the absolute worst. I could not stand that version of Kristina, that recast. I was so glad when Lexi came back. I think Kate's doing a great job, though. But, like, the bat thing was so out of character for Kristina. It was ridiculous. And of course it was ridiculous. It was during the Ron Carlivati era, where no one was acting in character. But yeah. But honestly, when Dante was like, what did he say to Ava? That Kristina's not a violent person. I did think to that scene with the bat. And I was like, can we just forget about that version of Kristina? Because that version of Kristina did not make any sense. Man. And to be fair, she was dealing with like a split personality Connie Falconeri too. Then some people are calling Kristina losing the baby as racist on Twitter. No. How is that racist? Like, I don't know. Honestly, it would have been hell. I am relieved that baby is gone, as bad as that sounds, because I did not want to sit through whatever mess was originally planned for Kristina and Molly. I doubt that throwing Kristina out of a window and having her lose the baby was the true game plan. I think that was a left field, last minute rewrite, just because the story clearly hasn't been perceived well at all. And honestly, like, I feel like had they gone through with it, we would have either seen Kristina be stupid and like try to keep the baby for herself and look like a maniac. Or Molly being super angry at Kristina for like somewhat valid reasons, but not valid enough to like be as volatile as she had been with Kristina. Would have been the first black baby born on screen since the 80s or something. The racist claim is a reach. Yeah, that is a reach, honestly. Like, truthfully, you know, it's what, regardless of the race of the dad, or I'm just glad that the baby wasn't born, and I don't think race had anything to do with it. You know, obviously, TJ and Molly are gonna have to assess the idea of having another baby. Probably table it for now. Like, obviously, 2 times in a row is crazy. None of the podcasts like the story. Yeah, it was what it was. And honestly, like, we'd see the baby born, and then what? Like, let's say there was no drama here, right? Like, Molly and TJ would have the baby, Kristina would give it up, they'd raise the family and be a happy whatever unit. And then what story does Molly and TJ after that have? Like, they're not going to have much story on screen. They barely do to begin with. It's crazy that we've seen TJ and Molly and Kristina and Blaze in the front burner as much as we have. And I don't hate that they got this story. I would have preferred another one, obviously, but I don't mind them being more front and center because these are characters that are usually neglected. But I just wish they had better stories because they're all played by great actors and deserve better material to work with. And today we were shown that they are capable of handling some heavy material. But, you know, it was pretty bad, and I'm relieved, and I'm glad that we're not going to have to sit through a custody battle. I am curious to see where the story will go. My prediction is that Molly's going to press charges against Sunny or Ava, and Rick's going to be Molly's lawyer. I don't see Molly going after Kristina for this. Just because of the scene that they shared with each other. You know, like, Molly was genuinely, like, glad that Kristina didn't die. And as much as Molly was no doubt hurting from Kristina losing the baby, she clearly didn't blame Kristina for it. You know what I mean? I don't know who annoyed me more, the Twitter people or Molly blaming Sunny. Truthfully, I'd like Molly to know a bit more. Obviously, she's kind of jumping to that. No, I saw Kristina and Molly. TJ was off the campus for 3 months. That's true. But even then, that's still more screen time than TJ used to get. Molly should sue the hotel. That'll be a better storyline for her. Maybe. I don't know. I just, that's crazy, though. Yeah, I obviously, the story is still fresh. We don't know exactly what direction they're going to go. I truthfully think that Molly reacting towards Sunny that way, aside from needing someone to blame that wasn't her sister, because she just saw how horrible Kristina felt that she lost the baby, and she had compassion for Kristina. But she needed someone to blame, because she wasn't going to let herself, be angry at Kristina for something that she knows was essentially something that should not happen. She doesn't know all the details beyond she knows that Ava, was subpoenaing her. But like let her and TJ and Kristina know more about what went down. Obviously, I think Kristina doesn't really remember what happened yet. She's in shock. Hopefully she remembers at some point. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can understand why TJ is mad at Kristina. She was reckless. I mean, in the sense that, like, she went to argue with someone. Like, Yeah, but she wasn't gonna lose the baby on that. You know? Like, Kristina is not supposed to just sit, politely and just, like, not live her life. She has every reason to confront Ava. But, I would say that I feel like it's more on Ava than it is Kristina. Because Ava really was, like, goading her into reacting. So probably she could utilize that just in case things go south. Because Ava went into panic mode because Kristina threatened to be honest on the stand about her as well as Sunny. So, put them in a worse place. She's going to lie and say that Ava pushed her. I mean, who knows? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. She's going to look at the pictures and assume that Ava pushed her. The pictures that Brick took. Sunny's going to assume that as well. And yeah, suffice to say, going back on the point that I was trying to make earlier, I think that Molly reacted to Sunny the way that she did, so that Sunny could just have like a moment of like, everyone is turned on me. Am I the problem? So that he ended up on the hospital roof. I think that was more so to kind of usher Sunny up to that roof, and probably want to kill himself. And I think it's safe to say that we're going to see Morgan tomorrow. Again, I don't read spoilers, but it seems obvious to me. I did see the previews, and he's talking to someone. It has to be Morgan. We know he's coming back. And we've seen Sunny talk Morgan off of the roof of that hospital before. That last time he was on that roof was with Morgan when Morgan was trying to kill himself. So it makes sense that that's where he'd have a hallucination of Morgan. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Brian Craig again and acting along Maurice, because they had a really good father-son chemistry on screen, and I actually liked their sort of relationship more than Sunny and Michael's. Just because, to me, I always felt like once they recasted Michael with Chad Duell, and Brian Craig eventually came when they aged Morgan, it felt like Morgan kind of took the reins of what Michael was originally seemingly going to be, like the hot mess of the family. Because Morgan as a child was like, I don't want to say angelic, but like he was like pretty chill, laid back, no drama. Like he was like well liked. He adored Jax, and it was all this other stuff. But like I just think that like what was I gonna say? I just think that they switched the characters. Michael was suddenly the good one, and Morgan was suddenly the hot mess, and it was really the opposite. Allison, you wish that Morgan was really coming back? I mean, when I first heard that he was, I was like, I mean, on the one hand, it's another back from the dead story. On the other hand, it's something that could be written in because we never seen his body. They found some stuff like at the bottom of the lake, but I don't think he, there was an open window there to make him alive again. But truthfully, I don't see them recasting Morgan, and I don't see Brian Craig coming back full time either. So I think Morgan's gonna stay dead. Angel, you said, I wish they didn't have Michael and Morgan fight, and Morgan feeling like Michael was the golden boy. I mean, I feel that way too, but like, it really was the opposite at one point. Angel, you said, I would rather see Morgan alive because I don't think he should have been unalived. Yeah, it was kind of shocking that when it happened, because Brian Craig leaving to me was wild, because I felt like he was a really good actor. I mean, he is a good actor. He just played a bit of a hot mess of a character, and it would have been nice to see Morgan sort of fight his way out of that. Did anybody think it was strange that Jordan called Blaze? Yes, but actually, yes, I do. That seemed left field. Like, I expected Alexis. I feel like Alexis and Blaze have more of a camaraderie than Blaze and Jordan. Like, it's not like TJ and Blaze are super close. Like, it was weird. It was. Good night, all gotta go. Good night, Sandy. Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here in a minute as well, actually. Feels like they wanted to recreate AJ and Jason again with two brothers. Yeah, seemed like it. But I still would have rather seen Michael be the hot mess and Morgan be, like, the good one. If they were really gonna go that route, than the opposite. I also would have liked to see, Drew. The actor Drew. I forget. The actor Drew that played Michael. Drew Garrett, that was his name. Stay in that role. How did Jordan get Blaze's number? Exactly. It don't make sense. It don't make sense to me. Like, I wish there was a scene where, like, maybe Molly told Jordan, hey, can you call Blaze for Kristina for me? Like, you know what I mean? Something to make it make sense. But even so, I feel like she would have gone to Alexis for that. Honestly. But yeah, no, the what I did truly appreciate about today's episode is that Kristina, like, Molly genuinely was looking out for Kristina in that moment too, knowing and seeing for herself how devastated she was and how badly she was hurt and how in danger she was to lose her own life, and the danger is clearly continuing by judging by the end of the episode. But yeah, I don't know. Suffice to say, I really enjoyed last week's GH, and I'm sorry I couldn't live stream yesterday. But if y'all seen the way the dogs were, like, basically wrestling the entire time that they were here, like, I would have been distracted the whole time and looking up at my roof and apologizing for the barking and everything. So I was like, just do it tomorrow, it's fine. Yes, Molly and Alexis should have called. Yes, yep, I agree. But yeah, anyway, I am looking forward to whatever happens the rest of the week. I'm looking forward to whenever we get around to seeing Jonathan Jackson and Rick Hurst again. Looking forward to that. What was I gonna say? We will live stream Sunday for sure for the next recap. Wednesday, and I'm thinking we're going to take the time to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers, because why not? I think we'll have a little bit of a celebratory live stream. I think instead of reacting to GH, we'll react to the very first GH after show that I did, maybe. Just for funsies, because I used to actually use clips of GH in those videos that I used to make for the show before I started live streaming. But we'll also hang out and talk about GH too, because, you know, the reason I have as many subscribers as I do is because of this show that I do every week, and I'm grateful that you guys all tuned in. Hey, Ethel. Allison, you said at least the Jagger, Jason, Carly stuff is over. Yeah, I'm glad for that. End that story abruptly. That'll be good. Good catch up. But yeah, again, I'm grateful for the 1,000, and it's largely in part of you guys that watch this show. It's cool. It's cool. I really appreciate it. And here's to 1,000 more. Probably not, but like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, and if people enjoy the live streams, and then great, and if not, then that's fine too, I guess. Jagger, Jason, Carly thing probably not completely over. There's all the bad writing on Patrick. Time will tell. Whenever, like, we'll see what happens when the official switch happens, which it feels like it's taking longer than it should have. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like he got fired ages ago. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see when the new writing kicks in what happens. obviously they're trying to change things up with the way that some stories seem to be ending abruptly and switched and reversed, and with actors like Emma Samms and Rick Hurst and Jonathan Jackson coming back. Hopefully, I said it before, like, it's not enough for great actors to come back to the show. Thanks, Albert. It's not enough for great actors to come back to the show. It's more so about writing them properly. And I feel like if the writers have been paying attention to social media, a lot of people felt a type of way of how the show was written under Elizabeth and Patrick. And I think Elizabeth hopefully reassessed the situation. Because full-on clean slate and ignoring the past clearly was not the way to go. Pissed off too many people. And he was truly... like, that had to be the reason why he got fired so quickly. Also, I don't think we're ever going to see Neil's brother again. I think that was banked on, Patrick sticking around. Didn't work out. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. We'll celebrate, we'll hang out and talk about GH, but also we'll watch some throwback GHMV episodes from, back in the day. Maybe we'll even watch my first video on this channel, which had nothing to do with GH, but it was me introducing myself. It was funny. She's the problem in my opinion. I don't know. She's been around for like 30 years, if not more, right? She's like the one last standing from like a time when GH was actually better in the writing sense. But we'll see. We'll see. If she was the problem, I think she would have been the one that was fired over Patrick. And we know we at least know Elizabeth well enough to know what her writing is like. Clearly, the way that it was being written was not it. Do you think he's coming back? The guy that played Neil's brother? I don't think so. Some people are calling her Triple K Cordy. Twitter is wild. Hoy. Well, it's hard to say, because maybe the slightly more racial one was Patrick, but we don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know the guy. I don't know. That's me throwing that theory out there too. We'll see. I'm curious to see what Trina will be written as once we're in full swing of a newish Regaim. Of Regaim without Patrick fully. We'll see. That's all I got to say on that matter. But yeah, I'm going to end the live stream here. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you liked this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday. Peace out.